Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As always, if you want to learn more about the Chris Watts case, starting with the mistress, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Today we are going to be talking about the mistress's phone bill for July 14th through August 13th, specifically the date July 21st. On August 21st, Nicole Kessinger did a phone interview with Agent Kobach. The purpose of this interview was because the mistress said she had remembered some things and wanted to go over it with the agent. Also, by then, Chris had been arrested and was waiting for charges, and of course the girls were found and Shanann. To this interview many times, but I have taken my notes and I've compared it with her phone bill. So I'm going to give you a brief summary of what the interview is about, and then I'm going to play it for you. But based off of my findings, I do believe that her friend Jim was there with her and Chris on this July 21st. Chris, in my opinion, met Jim. The question we have is, why does she continue to say Jim knew nothing about Chris? With that being said, let's get started. On July 21st, the mistress said that her and Chris went to the Vandermeer Speedway. She said they got there pretty early in the afternoon and they stood there pretty late. She said these events go till it gets dark. Kobach then asks her, how did they get to the Speedway? She says that Chris drove to her house and they carpooled. I did find her saying they carpooled kind of odd, because normally she just says like, oh, we took my car, we went in my truck, but this time she used the word carpool, and I don't know, to me that stood out. Then Agent Kobach asks her if anybody else went with them to this event or on any of their dates, and she says no, it was just us. And then Kobach does this like where he clears his throat. He was like and I don't know, it just seems so odd that he did it right then and there. I kind of feel like if he knew she was lying when she said that, because remember, at this time they already had her phone records, so they already had some text messages, they already had photos. So when he clears his throat after she's like, no, it was just us, it's kind of like, you're lying. Then Kobach asks her, did you guys go eat afterwards? Did you guys stop anywhere, to bars or anything? And then the mistress goes, that day, I'm glad you brought that up. And she just changed her tone. It's hilarious when you listen to it. In my opinion, she didn't bring that up on purpose. And she's probably thinking like, fuck, I can't believe you guys know this. Then she says prior to going to the Speedway, they did go have lunch. She couldn't remember where it was at, the name of the place. Then she's like, oh, Morrison, that's where it was at. So it was a patio bar, she said, and it was a rooftop. She said she does remember there was a Italian pizza place underneath there, and they ate there for a while. So she said they were there for a while, and it was lunchtime, and they had tacos. Then he asks like what they did after, and she's like, after the Speedway, I can't remember what we did, but it was pretty late. So she's like, I guess we just went back to my house. Then she just goes on to speak about the following weekend, about the sand dunes, and then Kobach interrupts her and asks her about some attachments he had came across on her phone. He explains there was these photos that he's seen of a man who's a heavier set, and he has a backpack and a beard. He said it doesn't look like Chris to me. And then she was like, oh, that's my friend Jim. When she says that's my friend Jim, she says that's the one I was with on Monday and Tuesday of last week. So on Murder Monday, she was with her friend Jim. Then Kobach says that while he was looking at her phone, he made sure to say there was only a limited stuff that came through. And in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, because she deleted everything. He tells her about the photos of cars, and he's like, maybe there is more on your phone that I originally thought. And he says there was no photos of Chris. So now let's listen to the mistress interview when she talks about July 21st.
the weekend of the 21st. And this is how you'll know if my dates are lined up. I would base it off of this date and work your way backwards. But this weekend I went to Vandermeer Speedway with him. And I went and saw, I think it was called the Mopar Mile High National. Mm-hmm. It might have been called Thunder on the Mountain. I don't know. It was the drag races though. And it was Saturday the 21st.
Okay.
And we were there like the majority of the day. I think we got there like early afternoon, and we were there till it ended pretty much.
Was that late in the evening?
Yeah, those things go pretty late. Like it gets dark.
Okay. So you drove, did you pick him up again and then drive your truck, or your 4Runner, right? It's a 4Runner? Drive your 4Runner?
I didn't pick him up. No, I didn't pick him up again because I never went back to his house. Like he came to my house and then we carpooled.
Okay. So he drove to your house, you guys carpool down to the Mile High Nationals, and you stay the majority of the day. Is there anybody with you guys on any of these dates, or is it just you two?
It's just us.
Okay. Did you have meals anywhere after you left there? Did you stop at any bars or anything?
Okay, so that day, I'm glad you brought that up. Prior to going to Vandermeer, we went to, what is the name of that little town? It's not Evergreen. It's like in between Lakewood and Morrison. We went to Morrison. And there's a patio bar there. I do not know what it is called. It's on top of an Italian pizza place. I think it's literally called like the Morrison Grill or Morrison Patio Bar, like something real simple. And we went, it's just like a rooftop bar.
And you went before the drag races?
Yeah, we went before the drag races.
Okay.
And we hung out, there probably for a while. I think we were there for a little while. We ate there, so that's where we got food.
So you ate lunch there?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Tacos.
Okay.
This is a really good bar, by the way. Yeah, so we did that, and then we went to Vandermeer, and then I don't know what we did after Vandermeer. I think we just went to my house. I'm almost positive. Like, I don't think we did anything after that, because it was pretty late.
Okay.
And then on the weekend of July 28th through the 29th, we went to the sand dunes. We went to the Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Down in Alamosa?
Yes.
July 28th, 29th. Did you guys stay anywhere?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Where did you stay?
Oh, we camped.
Okay.
We camped. I don't remember the name of the campsite, but if you, just let me go through probably, my old phone Navel or, go through just the internet and try to look up campsites, I can probably come up with the name for you.
Let me ask you this. There was some attachments that when I was looking at some of your phone stuff today, although very limited, there's a man with a backpack. He's got a beard. He does not look like Chris to me in your photos. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, is he a little heavier set?
Yeah, I'd say he's a little bit bigger.
Yes, that is my friend Jim. That is the one that I was with on the Monday and Tuesday of last week.
Okay, so there is some photographs. You mentioned the museum, the car museum. I think I remember seeing a couple photos of cars, and it didn't strike me as anything then. So there may be a little bit more on your phone than what I think. But there is definitely no photos of Chris, and I don't remember seeing any pictures of the sand dunes. But
Okay, so now let's talk about the timeline based off what the mistress said. So she said they went to the Vandermeer Speedway around early afternoon. She said that they were there the whole day. to the nighttime. She said they did go have lunch prior to that at Rooftop Bar, and they were there for lunch. They were there for a while. So I'm guessing they probably, I don't know, got to the rooftop at maybe around 1 for lunch, and then maybe went to the Speedway around 3 or 4. That's what I'm guessing just based off what she said. I did go to the Bandimere website, but a lot of their stuff has been postponed, their events, due to COVID-19. But they did have a Facebook, so I did go look on their Facebook to 2018. I just scrolled all the way down. I really wish Facebook would make where a little tab where you just typed in the year and you can just see all the posts from just that year. It would make our lives so much easier. So they did have different events for that day. Some of them I seen started at 3, some started 4. They have all different times on there. And then I think the last one I seen was 9. So it does go pretty late. We have something like that where I live, and the times are almost similar to that. As for the Rooftop Bar, I did go online to check them out. They do have photos of the bar, but they don't have an actual website. So I just called the number to ask questions about the menu and times and stuff like that. And a nice gentleman answered, and he did tell me they have like sports food there, like sports bar, and it's more of an Italian theme, he said. I did ask if they had anything that was Mexican on the menu, and he told me no. I did specifically ask if they serve tacos. He told me they didn't serve tacos. I said, okay. He said they have really good paninis there and really good nachos. He also did tell me that there was a Italian restaurant underneath them, and that if you wanted to order anything from the restaurant underneath, you can place an order and they will bring it up to you. I did end up going on Yelp just to see what people posted about it, and I did find some reviews that said they had really good street tacos. So I don't know why the guy told me they didn't have them. Maybe they only serve them certain times throughout the year. I'm not sure. I did find that interesting, the information he did give me. Also, if the name Morrison or Rigatoni's Pizza sounds familiar, you are probably remembering the Netflix documentary. There's a part in there where it shows Chris's and Shanann's bank statement, and it clearly shows Rigatoni's Pizza, and then it says N Morrison, and there's a charge for $54.60. Above it, it says concession and then Morrison, and that was for $20. They do have a little concession area at the Bandimere Speedway, which serves food and drinks, regular drinks and then mixed drinks on there. So they can easily probably have gotten 2 drinks. Maybe that's where that $20 pricing's coming up for that concession. Parking was only $15, and the distance between the tavern and Bandimere Speedway was only 3 minutes. So is it possible the mistress and Chris ate actually at the pizza place, and the mistress is just eluding Kobach from where they actually went? Or did they eat at the rooftop and order from downstairs menu, and that's why it's showing the pizza in Morrison charge on his bank account? My first thought after seeing this charge was, how did Shanann not question Chris when he used their bank account for this? Second, the mistress said that Chris always used a gift card. Always was her words she used. And this clearly shows that she lied again, and he used his own personal bank account. I never believed he was using any gift cards. I never believed there was one gift card even involved. I believe he was either using a prepaid card, either that or cash, or his own personal bank. Did a video on that, and I'll link it below. My question I have right now is, why did she want the agent to think that Chris always used a gift card? Because right now what we're looking at shows she lied and Chris used his personal bank account more than once. So I went back into the phone data in the discovery to see what was going on July 21st, and this is what I found. July 21st, 2018, Watts and Kessinger went to the Vandermeer and the Rooftop Tavern in Morrison. At 7:43 hours, Shanann called Watts and held a 20-minute conversation. At 10:34, Watts transferred images of Kessinger into a secret calculator application. 13:58 hours, not found in Watts' phone, he sent a message to Shanann, headed out to the track, boo, I will text you when I get there. And I don't know what kind of face that is. So 13:58 is 1:58. So at 1:58, he's telling Shanann he is going to the track. So I'm going to guess that at 1:58, when Chris tells Shanann, headed out to the track, boo, he is already with the mistress and they're going to the Vandermeer Speedway. Shanann is clearly aware of Chris going, and there's other examples of this in the phone data that Chris tells her he's going places. The only thing we don't know is who is he saying he's going with. I'm gonna wonder if it's someone from work, since everybody else I feel like Shanann was friends with, all the wives, and she seemed to have everyone on Thrive. And yes, it's possible that if it was someone from work, they didn't know Shanann, or was it someone from work that knew Shanann and knew Chris was having an affair, and Chris told him to cover for him? I mean, he wouldn't be the first friend that covers for the guy while he's out cheating. I do wonder, though, why Shanann didn't question him about this transaction of $54. Yes, she knew he was going somewhere, but $54 for pizza place for one guy, that's extremely a lot. I mean, she clearly questioned him on the Lazy Dog transaction. As soon as it happened, it seemed like she was already calling him, asking him to save the receipt, because she said $60 for salmon and a beer don't make sense. So I just wonder, why didn't she question this? Is it possible because she wasn't thinking he was doing anything? Then I found this. Her friend Sam Paisley, I think that says, Samantha, she works with her for Thrive. These are notes that were taken by, I think it's Officer James, I think it was. And it says, Sam, talk July 18th via text. Routine, nothing off. Chris didn't want baby, wants separation. Saturday night baseball game, buddies, salmon plus beer equals $60. Something seems like a lot. Westminster, Rusty Bucket, ate something, got home 2 hours late. So obviously Shanann was noticing things with Chris and questioning Chris on what he was doing. Maybe she didn't think it was to the level it was at yet. When we look at the Rusty Bucket information in the phone data, that was all the way back on July 7th. So from July 7th, probably even before that, Shanann was noticing things. Now let's look at the mistress phone bill for July 21st. At 1:05, she calls her friend Jim and speaks with him for 28 minutes. I thought the mistress said that she went to the Vandermeer Speedway early afternoon, and then prior to that, she had lunch at the Rooftop Tavern. But right here at 1:05, she's in Thornton. At 2:59, she's still in Thornton, and she calls her friend Jim again and talks to him, this time for 2 minutes. Now remember, the mistress said Chris drove to her house and then they carpooled. So at 1:58, Chris told Shanann he was headed out to the track. So I'm guessing he's with the mistress at 1:58. So at 2:59, when she calls Jim for 2 minutes, Chris is already with her. My question here is, why is she calling Jim when she is with Chris? If Jim doesn't know anything about Chris and Chris doesn't really know anything about Jim and has never met Jim, why is she calling Jim when she is with Chris and they're going out on a date? I think at 1:05, Chris was already with the mistress when she made that phone call to Jim for 28 minutes. But from the phone data, we see Chris told Shanann he was leaving to the track at 1:58. So by 2:59, we know for sure Chris is with the mistress. So why is she calling Jim and having a conversation with him again when she's going out on a date and Jim doesn't know anything about Chris? Here's something I find extremely odd. At 4:26 p.m., Chris calls the mistress and speaks to her for 1 minute. The location, they're in Morrison. So why is Chris calling her if they're supposed to be there together on a date? Where was the mistress at? So based off the phone data and the phone bill, I'm going to guess that at 4:26, they're at the restaurant eating at this time, because at 6:18 p.m. through 8:39 p.m., Chris is taking photos of cars at the Vandermeer Speedway. So why, if they're at the restaurant on a date together, you guys, why is Chris calling her? Where did she take off to? Who is she with at this time? It just makes no sense. Comment below and let me know what you think about that. Then at 4:50 p.m., she calls this place. It's Valley View Hot Springs. It's a lodging place, campground. So I'm wondering, did they all spend the night here? Is this why she doesn't remember what she did afterwards? I mean, I'm not even gonna go there. Is this the crazy stuff that we read about in the book? I don't know. With my closing thoughts, I think it's very important that we remember Kobach asking her if anybody went with her on these dates. He asked her that for a reason. He clearly seen some stuff on her phone that made him think somebody else was with them. He described them as a heavier set, wearing a backpack and a beard. She said, "That's my friend, Jim." Also, this is the same guy that was there Monday, and now we learned Tuesday. This is also the guy she didn't want the agent to have any contact with, who was supposed to be her alibi, but yet she didn't want to give him up at all. Why? What is the big deal if he met Chris? Who cares if he met Chris? Who cares he went on a date with you guys? Who cares? What is the big deal? There's a reason why she is protecting Jim and doesn't want Jim involved, but we just don't know what that is. It's like Chris is protecting the mistress and the mistress is protecting Jim. Something else for you guys to think about. Chris said the whole reason why he had to have that conversation with Shanann that night, Monday night, when she got home from Arizona, was because he used his personal bank card. And he just felt like she knew because he had never used that bank card. The mistress also made it such a big deal and a point to say that Chris only used gift cards, never used his personal card. So on that lazy dog date on the 12th, him using his personal bank card was such a big deal, even to her, she said. But now we know, seeing the transaction for their date on July 21st, Chris used it at the restaurant they went to go eat at. He also used it again in Morrison before that for $20. So why did they have to lie about using Chris's personal bank account? Was this part of the mistress and Chris's plan that they had to say that Chris used his bank card and had never used it And then Shanann got so upset about it. And I already know some can say, oh, well, maybe that was from a different time that Morrison charged. And what are the odds of that? I guess another coincidence. So we know now that the mistress would talk to Jim while she was with Chris. And I believe that this transaction at Morrison, with everything I researched, was from July 21st. And this would show that Chris used his personal bank account before that lazy dog trip. I'm going to end this video with the quote Agent Kobach said, "Phone records don't lie, people do." And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all soon.